Hello there, our wonderful community of English learners, and a huge warm welcome back to another episode of Idiom Insights. I'm Emma, and I am absolutely thrilled to be guiding you once again through the fascinating, sometimes puzzling, but always rewarding world of English idioms. It feels great to connect with you all again.
And a very cheerful hello from me too. It's Jack, your co-pilot on this linguistic voyage, ready with definitions, examples, and hopefully a sprinkle of amusement to keep things lively. We're genuinely delighted that you've chosen Idiom Insights to accompany you on your language learning journey today. Spending this time together exploring words is truly a highlight for us.
It really is, Jack. And today, we have 4 idioms that are deeply embedded in the English language. You'll hear them used in various contexts, from warnings about risk and planning to colorful descriptions of weather and secrets. Understanding these expressions isn't just about knowing more words. It's about grasping cultural nuances and communicating more effectively, more naturally. It adds layers to understanding.
Couldn't agree more, Emma. It's like getting the inside scoop on how the language really works in practice. So, let's get ready to dive deep. On today's episode of Idiom Insights, we are setting our sights on these intriguing phrases. First, a cautionary one about risk. Put all your eggs in one basket. What happens if you drop the basket? Next, doing things in the wrong sequence. Put the cart before the horse. A very clear image of inefficiency. Then a dramatic weather description. Raining cats and dogs. Definitely not literal, we hope. And finally, hidden secrets from the past. Skeletons in the closet. Sounds spooky.
A truly varied and fascinating selection, Jack. These idioms touch upon practical wisdom, logical order, vivid imagery, and hidden truths. Before we start examining the dangers of putting all those proverbial eggs into just one container, we'd love to extend that gentle, friendly invitation from us here at Idiom Insights. If you find these sessions valuable and want to ensure you don't miss a single discovery, please take just a second to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening. It makes staying updated completely effortless.
Absolutely. It's the best way to join us for every episode. And if you're feeling particularly supportive, a like or a positive rating is like sunshine for us podcasters. It helps other passionate English learners find our little corner of the internet and lets us know that we're creating something you genuinely enjoy and find useful. Right? Polite request delivered. Emma, shall we talk about baskets and eggs? Why is it risky to put them all in one place?
Let's dive into that, Jack. Our first idiom today is the cautionary phrase, put all your eggs in one basket. This is classic advice, often given when someone is considering a risky venture. What's the core meaning here?
The core meaning, Emma, is a warning against risking everything you have on the success of just one single plan, venture, investment, or opportunity. Think about it literally. If you put all your fragile eggs into just one basket, and then you accidentally drop that basket, you lose all your eggs. However, if you distribute your eggs across several baskets, dropping one doesn't mean losing everything. So, idiomatically, it means to avoid concentrating all your resources, efforts, or hopes into just one possibility. Because if that one thing fails, you lose everything. It advises diversification and spreading risk.
That's a fantastic explanation, Jack. Really highlighting the idea of spreading risk. It applies so broadly, too. For instance, in finance, advisors constantly tell people not to put all their eggs in one basket by investing all their money in a single company's stock. It's safer to diversify across different types of investments. But it also applies personally. Maybe someone pins all their hopes for happiness on getting one specific job, neglecting other possibilities or aspects of their life. They're emotionally putting all their eggs in one basket, which can lead to huge disappointment if that one job doesn't work out. It's about having backup plans and not making one single outcome the only path to success or happiness.
Precisely. It's about resilience through diversification, whether financial or emotional. Relying too heavily on one single thing always carries inherent risk. Let's listen to our friends, Mia and Mark. Is someone considering a venture that relies heavily on one single factor?
Mark, I've been doing a lot of thinking about my career lately. You know, I've been feeling a bit uninspired in my current office job.
Yes, you've mentioned feeling ready for a change. Have you been looking at other jobs? Or perhaps thinking about retraining in something completely different?
Well, I had this idea. My friend Chloe started her own online handmade jewelry business last year. selling through platforms like Etsy. She seems to be doing reasonably well now after a lot of hard work. I was thinking maybe I could do something similar. I love making crafts, especially designing unique greeting cards.
Making greeting cards? That sounds like a lovely hobby, Mia, but turning it into a full-time business? That's a big leap. Would you quit your current job to do it?
That's the plan. I've been saving up a little bit. I figured I could resign from my job next month, invest all my savings into buying professional printing equipment and high-quality cardstock, and launch my online shop. I'd dedicate all my time and energy to it. If Chloe can make it work with jewelry, surely I can with cards.
Hold on a minute, Mia. That sounds incredibly risky. Quitting your stable job and investing all your savings into a brand new, unproven business right from the start? That sounds like you'd be putting all your eggs in one basket. What if sales are slow initially? What if the competition is tougher than you think? You'd have no other income and no savings left as a cushion.
But I need to commit fully to make it work. I can't do it half-heartedly.
I understand the need for commitment, but maybe you could start it as a side business first while you still have your job. Test the market, build up some customers, see if it's really viable before risking everything. Please be careful about putting all your eggs in one basket like that. It worries me.
That's a classic scenario illustrating the risk. Mia's plan involves investing all her resources, her job security, and all her savings into one single, untested venture.
Exactly. Mark uses the idiom, putting all your eggs in one basket, twice to clearly articulate the danger of her approach. He advises a more cautious, diversified strategy, starting small, keeping her job initially, to mitigate the risk of losing everything if the new business fails. It perfectly captures the essence of the warning. So, listeners, do you think it's sometimes necessary to put all your eggs in one basket to achieve great success? Or is it always wiser to diversify?
Now, let's move from risk management to logical order. Our second idiom today involves transportation. Metaphorically speaking, put the cart before the horse. Jack, this creates a very clear, almost comical image. What does it mean?
It really does paint a picture of something nonsensical, doesn't it? A horse pulls a cart, it doesn't work the other way around. So to put the cart before the horse means to do things in the wrong order, to reverse the proper or logical sequence of actions. It means focusing on or dealing with later steps or consequences before addressing the essential earlier steps or foundations. It implies a lack of foresight or logical planning, leading to inefficiency or problems.
Doing things in the wrong order, that's the key. It leads to confusion or impracticality. For instance, imagine someone starts buying expensive furniture and decorations for a house they haven't even made an offer on yet, let alone had the offer accepted or secured a mortgage. They are definitely putting the cart before the horse. They're focusing on the furnishing stage before completing the crucial foundational step of actually acquiring the house.
A perfect example. Or think about planning a huge, elaborate launch party for a new product before the product itself has even been properly developed, tested, or finalized. Announcing the party and sending invitations would be putting the cart before the horse. The product needs to exist and be ready before you celebrate its launch. It highlights a fundamental error in sequencing and priority. First things first.
Exactly. First things first is the underlying message. Let's tune in to Mia and Mark again. What project are they discussing where the steps might be getting muddled?
Mark, I was talking to our neighbor, Mrs. Gable, about her plans to extend her kitchen. She's very excited about it, already picking out paint colors and new kitchen appliances. She showed me a catalog with a very fancy, high-tech oven she wants to order next week.
Oh, is she finally going ahead with the extension? That's ambitious. Has she got planning permission from the council yet? Those kinds of extensions often require formal approval, especially in this conservation area. And has she even hired an architect or a builder?
Well, that's the strange thing. When I asked her about planning permission, she waved her hand and said, "Oh, that's just a formality, we'll sort that out later." And she mentioned she hasn't hired a builder yet, but she's already chosen the exact model of oven and the color for the walls.
She's chosen the oven and paint colors before getting planning permission or hiring a builder? That sounds completely backwards. The size and design of the extension, which depend on the architect and the council's approval, will determine what kind of kitchen fits in there and what appliances are suitable.
My thoughts exactly. Choosing the final decorative details before you even know if the extension is allowed or what shape it will be seems like putting the cart before the horse, doesn't it? What if permission is refused, or she has to change the design significantly? That fancy oven might not even fit.
Precisely. She's focusing on the fun finishing touches before tackling the essential foundational steps like planning approval and construction plans. Definitely a case of putting the cart before the horse. I hope it doesn't cause her problems down the line.
That conversation perfectly highlights the illogical sequencing. Mrs. Gable is focusing on the final stages, appliances, paint, before dealing with the crucial initial stages, planning permission, architectural design, builder.
Exactly. Mark and Mia both identify this as putting the cart before the horse, recognizing the incorrect order and the potential problems it could cause. It clearly illustrates doing things in the wrong, illogical sequence. Listeners of Idiom Insights, can you think of other common examples where people tend to put the cart before the horse?
Let's move from logical order to dramatic weather. Our third idiom is the very vivid raining cats and dogs. Emma, this is one people often find quite amusing. What exactly are we describing here?
It is a very amusing image, Jack. And thankfully, it's entirely figurative. When we say it's raining cats and dogs, we simply mean it is raining extremely heavily. It's pouring down with rain, a torrential downpour. It's used to emphasize the intensity of the rainfall. The origin is quite obscure, with various fanciful theories involving mythology, old drainage systems, or even thatched roofs, but none are definitively proven. The key takeaway is just very, very heavy rain.
Very heavy rain. Got it. It's not just a light shower or drizzle, it implies a significant downpour. So if you were planning a picnic but looked out the window to see incredibly heavy rain lashing against the panes, you'd say, "Oh well, picnic canceled. It's absolutely raining cats and dogs out there." It vividly conveys the intensity.
Absolutely. It's a strong, evocative phrase. You wouldn't use it for light rain. Imagine you arrive somewhere completely soaked, dripping water everywhere. Someone asks if it's raining outside, and you reply, "Raining? It's raining cats and dogs. I got drenched just walking from the car." It paints a picture of being caught in extremely heavy rain. Although perhaps slightly less common among younger generations now, it's still widely understood.
Good point about usage, but still very recognizable. Right, let's listen to Mia and Mark. Are they experiencing some rather intense weather?
Mark, did you hear that incredible noise just now? It sounded like someone was throwing buckets of water against the roof and windows.
I did. I thought maybe the wind had picked up dramatically, but I just looked outside. The wind isn't that strong, but the rain. Mia, you have to come and see this.
What? Is it bad? I was just about to suggest we take a quick walk down to the shops before they close.
A walk? Now? Absolutely not. Look out the window. You can barely see across the street. The rain is coming down in sheets, bouncing off the pavement. It's unbelievable.
Oh my goodness. You weren't kidding. It really is raining cats and dogs out there. There's no way we can go out in that. We'd be soaked to the skin in about 10 seconds, even with umbrellas.
Exactly. Proper torrential downpour. Definitely raining cats and dogs. Looks like we're staying in for the next hour or so, at least until this passes. Kettle on?
Well, that dialogue leaves no doubt about the intensity of the rain. Their descriptions, buckets of water, coming down in sheets, can barely see across the street, all lead perfectly to the use of the idiom.
Precisely. Both Mia and Mark use raining cats and dogs to describe the extremely heavy torrential rain they are witnessing, making it clear why going outside is impossible. It effectively conveys the meaning of a very intense downpour. Listeners, what's the heaviest rain you've ever experienced? Was it raining cats and dogs?
And finally, let's venture into the realm of secrets and hidden pasts with our last idiom, skeletons in the closet. Jack, this sounds quite macabre. What does it really mean?
It does have a slightly dark or mysterious ring to it, Emma. Having skeletons in the closet, or skeletons in the cupboard in British English, refers to having embarrassing, damaging, shameful, or shocking secrets about your past that you want to keep hidden from others. These skeletons represent past events or aspects of your history that, if revealed, could harm your reputation, cause embarrassment, or lead to negative consequences. The closet is the place where these secrets are hidden away from public view.
Hidden, shameful secrets. That's the essence. These aren't just minor quirks. They're usually significant things people actively try to conceal. For example, politicians running for office often worry about opponents discovering skeletons in their closet, like past financial scandals, undisclosed controversial activities, or embarrassing personal histories, which could be used against them.
Exactly. The fear of exposure is key. Or think about a family that presents a perfect image to the outside world. They might secretly be dealing with skeletons in the closet, such as a history of debt, a relative's past criminal conviction, or long-hidden family feuds, things they wouldn't want their neighbors or friends to know about because it contradicts their public image. It's about hiding the less palatable truths.
It definitely implies something negative or potentially damaging that is being actively concealed. Let's listen to Mia and Mark for the final time today. Are they discussing someone who might have a hidden past?
Mark, I was reading that biography of the famous, incredibly successful businessman, Sir Reginald Finch. It details his rise from poverty, his brilliant innovations, his philanthropy. It paints a picture of a truly remarkable and seemingly perfect life.
Ah, yes, Sir Reginald. He always appears very polished and upright in his interviews, doesn't he? Always talking about integrity and hard work. He has that flawless public image.
He does. But the biography felt almost too perfect. It glossed over his early business dealings very quickly and barely mentioned his first marriage at all. It made me wonder.
Wonder what, Mia? If the polished image isn't the whole story?
Exactly. You hear whispers sometimes, don't you? Vague rumors about ruthless tactics he used to crush competitors early in his career, or suggestions that his first marriage ended under rather scandalous circumstances. Nothing concrete, just hints. It makes you wonder if someone so powerful and image-conscious might have a few skeletons in the closet that the official biography carefully avoids mentioning.
It wouldn't be surprising, would it? People in the public eye often have parts of their past they'd rather keep hidden. While he seems respectable now, it's plausible there might be some well-hidden skeletons in his closet from his younger, perhaps more ruthless days. We'll likely never know the full story, of course. That's the point of keeping them in the closet.
That's a very realistic way the idiom is often used. In speculation about public figures, they aren't stating facts, but wondering about hidden negative aspects of Sir Reginald's past.
Precisely. They use the phrase skeletons in the closet to refer to potentially damaging or embarrassing secrets that might exist behind his perfect public facade, things intentionally kept hidden. It captures the essence of concealed, potentially shameful past events. So, listeners of Idiom Insights, why do you think people try so hard to hide the skeletons from their past?
And with that intriguing thought about hidden histories, we conclude our idiom exploration for this episode. We've tackled 4 very different but equally common English expressions. Let's quickly recap them.
A very useful session. Today on Idiom Insights, we learned about put all your eggs in one basket, to risk everything on a single plan or venture, put the cart before the horse, to do things in the wrong or illogical order, raining cats and dogs, raining extremely heavily, skeletons in the closet, embarrassing or damaging secrets from one's past.
Excellent. We genuinely hope that our extended discussions and the dialogues have helped illuminate these idioms for you, making them easier to understand and perhaps even use. Remember, familiarity comes with exposure and practice.
Absolutely. Keep your ears open for these phrases in daily life. And if you found this episode helpful or enjoyable, we would be so appreciative if you could take a brief moment to leave us a like, a rating, or a positive review. It truly motivates us and helps others discover the podcast.
And most importantly, make sure you're subscribed or following Idiom Insights. That way you won't miss our next adventure into the captivating world of English idioms. We treasure having you as part of our learning community.
We really do. So until next time, keep listening, keep learning, keep asking questions, and enjoy the process of making English truly your own. Goodbye for now.
Bye, everyone. Take care, stay curious, and happy learning.